What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. And today I got a fun one for you. And I did this video last year, and you guys seemed to really enjoy it. And it was a ton of fun to do, so I figured why not bring it in this year into Madden 21. Last year I did it on the Dolphins, and coincidentally they are also the highest, or lowest rated team, I should say, of Madden 21. So I'm doing it with them again. Now the concept is take a team that would go 0-16 and make them go 16-0. So this is a little bit different from a regular rebuild that I might do on the channel, where we're going to completely gut this team, no pun intended, with a dolphin. Not really a fish, but like close enough for the analogy. And we're going to trade everybody, get picks, get players, tank the first year, and hopefully dominate in future years, going 16-0. Now, can we replicate the perfect season of the 1972 Dolphins? That's going to be tough to replicate. It really will be. But I would at least like to go 16-0 in the regular season. Is that too much to ask for? Maybe. I don't know. I think the Dolphins won, what, 17 total games that year? 17-0? It was a shorter season back then. I think it was 17. But hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. We are on the path to 200K. So every subscription helps. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe for me. Would mean the world. And I'm sure I'll remind you over the course of this thing, but I do stream on Twitch every day, pretty much, twitch.tv/Bengal. I came out with merch, like so many different things you guys might be interested in. So definitely make sure to check out the links in the description. And definitely don't ignore the link for Manscaped, who's the sponsor of today's video. This video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the premier men's grooming brand that there is. Now, I thought we'd mix it up a little bit for today's integration, and I would feature some of my favorite items, funnily enough, two of which you can find in the Perfect Package 3.0 new hygiene plan. The first of which, the Lawnmower 3.0. You guys know about this bad boy. 7,000 RPM motor, operates crazy strong, and it's really not going to cut your scratch. It reduces those to the utmost level. Also, pop off the razor blade there if you want to change or clean or whatever. So easy. Snaps back into place. I can do it without even looking. Already back on. Operational. Also, got the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. I mean, you use deodorant underneath your arms, and why would you not use it on an even smellier part of your body? So the Crop Preserver is an absolute necessity, and all that goes inside the Shed travel bag. Anytime I travel, this is a necessity for me. And you can get this as a free gift when you get the Perfect Package 3.0 from manscaped.com/Bengal. You also get the Crop Reviver Ball Toner and Refresher and Magic Mats, which are disposable shaving mats. Can't miss. Check out the description. All that in the Perfect Package 3.0. Huge savings with manscaped.com/Bengal. Links are in the description. So what is an underrated part of this is actually going 0-16. Because we have to completely gut the team. You don't want any lucky wins. And we do have a decent quarterback. I'm not going to trade Tua. He should probably be the future of this. He will have a lot of trade value, though. So I don't know what the strategy is with him. Do we want Tua to progress and be our future franchise guy? I mean, like, yes, I guess. But also, if we have Tua in, are we going to be more capable of getting wins? Which is what we don't want here in the first year. We're trying to completely gut the team. That might be a game-time decision. Byron Jones is going to have to go. Xavier Howard's going to have to go. We have to do whatever we can here to prepare for the future, get an exorbitant amount of draft picks, and be dominant in year 2 or 3. Probably, I think year 4 is what I'd be aiming at for our 16-0. But we're going to do, again, whatever it takes. So we're going to get as many picks as we can from as many teams. If we can get every pick in the first round, it's going to be killer for our cap, but we might just end up trading them for great players. I haven't exactly decided the strategy I want to take here. I think it might be a combination of both. Trading for established players and good picks. The strategy might be is to get a bunch of draft picks and then trade for older players who are at, their absolute peak and who are only going to decline. So their value might be lower, but they're still going to produce at a high level. It's all about getting that dominant QB. So maybe it is a good idea to trade Tua. I will say, though, if you want to see me actually rebuild the Dolphins, I already did it on my channel. Check it out in the Madden 21 rebuilding playlist. And I'll also be rebuilding them again in a realistic fashion if that's more of your thing, which I can completely understand. This is more of a fantasy land. Have fun. Go for it. Crazy concept, and we'll see if we can get a crazy result. Trading Byron Jones, Ryan Fitzmagic, and a 4th round pick for number 2 overall projected from the Bears. Again, It's going to be really painful to do this. These are unrealistic trades, clearly, and they're only going to get worse. And they're going to get way worse. But I need to get as much value as I can for some of these players. We are completely gutting the team. Kyle Van Noy, Devon Godshaw, and Christian Wilkins gets us a first this year and next year for the Minnesota Vikings, trading basically our entire defense already with Byron Jones, Kyle Van Noy, Devon Godshaw, now Christian Wilkins going as well. But that's the strength of this team. There's not a ton of highly rated players on offense. Like Fitzpatrick, yeah, is not that high, but he's gone. Devontae Parker's really the last domino to fall of the higher rated players. The only guy left in the 80s on offense. I will say that this is going to help highlight how broken the trade logic is in Madden, and it has not been changed. This is the same trade logic from the past few years that we've seen. It is what it is. Emmanuel Ogbah, Xavier Howard, and Mike Gesicki are headed to Arizona to play for the Cardinals. We are getting 2 first-round picks back, one this year, one next year. Kind of sticking to that same trend of gutting the team for picks, and picks give us a bridge to figure out what we want to do. So we'll off-put our decisions a bit with those picks. We could take studs, we could not. I'll have to decide. I just want to focus on trading with teams who I know are going to be particularly terrible, like the Jaguars, like the Jets, like the Giants, like the Lions probably. I want all their first-round picks. And the Jags actually have 2 this year. This is going to be really tough to get. This might involve trading Tua. In fact, it probably will, but we're going to find a quarterback anyway. It's probably going to take a quarterback better than Tua to go 16-0 anyway, so I guess it might be time to move him. It's going to be Tua going to the Jags, probably. Devontae Parker and Bobby McCain get me the #1 overall projected pick from the Jags. I didn't have to trade Tua, although I am probably going to trade Tua here. They need a quarterback. He's got a lot of value. Again, I really don't think he's going to be the future of going 12-0. Or going, this is not Battle Royale on MLB The Show, which I've done that 5 times. Fun fact, I don't know if you guys play that game. Done that 5 times this year. It's, subtle flex for no one's going to know what that means. But Tua is going to go. I want the first-round pick next year because they're probably going to be really bad again. Is that going to go through? Oh, that's actually, way too close. I mean, would the Jags do that in real life? They might. If you were in the Jags position, would you trade your first-round pick next year for Tua this year? I think you probably would, actually. I think you would. Let's add in a 6th and maybe a 5th if that doesn't go through. Actually, it could be a future 7th, and that's going to go through. We don't even have one, so future 6 is going to be what it is, and it is. Tua Tagovailoa, a 6th this year and next year gets us #1 overall projected in 2022. And again, the team is getting completely gutted, so it is what it is. Does anyone want Josh Rosen? Shocker. Nobody wants it. I mean, it actually is kind of surprising. He's not good, but he's never really been given a chance. Albert Wilson, Shaq Lawson, and a 5th next year gets us a 1st from the Jets. And again, I anticipate that they're going to be pretty bad next year as well. So if I could trade, I don't know, Josh Rosen, Jordan Howard. They have green interest now? Oh, they fooled me. But if I get the first-round pick next year as well, that's from the Seahawks. I don't want that. The Seahawks win the Super Bowl somewhat frequently in this. Can I get their first-round pick next year? I can. What else am I going to have to add? Receiver? Do I have any? Jakeem Grant? Do I hold on to Preston Williams? There's not really a point. Allen Hurns, do they want? Ooh, they do. Bye-bye. Rosen, Howard, Hurns, first-round pick in 2022. I know this is repetitive. We're doing the same thing. But we got to gut the team. Trading Matt Breida, Raekwon McMillan, and Ted Karras for a 1st this year and a 3rd next year from the New York Giants. We have a lot of cap room, but also not really because we do have to pay all of our first-round picks. And we have, 3, 6, 7, 8 first-round picks right now? Kind of a lot. Kind of a lot. Jerome Baker, Jesse Davis, and Vince Beagle they liked a lot for some reason. Gets us a first-round pick from Detroit. We have a lot of picks. How bad are the Panthers going to be this next year in the game? In real life, I actually think they're going to be pretty competitive. But how bad are they going to be in the game that they're projected top 10? I don't think they're going to be that bad. I mean, maybe. But I was almost a little bit surprised to see them play as poorly as they did this past year. I thought they were a decent team, but they picked at number 7. So, I mean, oh yeah, quarterback. They had no quarterback. Cam Newton was injured. All right, well, that makes more sense. Eric Flowers and Eric Rowe. One of them spells their name correctly. The other one, don't ask me. I have no clue what their mom or dad or both were doing. The mom was probably involved a little bit because, you know, you got to, whatever. 4th round pick next year as well, and we get a 1st round pick from the Panthers. That 4th rounder, man, they really wanted it. I was trying to make that happen with something else, and they weren't budging, but we have a lot of picks. I'm still not done gutting the team. We're still surprisingly high overall for being terrible, which is something I really didn't see coming. Kalen Ballage and Raekwon Davis headed to Indianapolis for a 1st. Making a trade with football team. Jakeem Grant, Alana Roberts, and Adam Shaheen are headed to football team. Football team merch is out too. You guys want to check that out? Worth a shot, you know. We're getting the 1st round pick and then 2 terrible players because we were going to go underneath the minimum roster size allowed because we've traded so many players. And I guess we're going to have a punter play quarterback. Does Matt Hawk want to do the honors? Oh, it's actually going to be Jason Saunders, which isn't his name, by the way. It's Sanders, just in case you guys cared. A brutal team. However, what's really telling about the quality of this team is the offensive line is mostly unchanged. Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt, Michael Dieter still all here, who would have been competing for starting jobs. Juliet Davenport is here. Preston Williams. Preston Williams should have some trade value. I got to figure out what to do with that. Yeah, really, really awful team. This should be an 0-16 team. I mean, this is the worst team I've ever seen by a lot. The funny thing is, though, it's not even -10 overall to where we started. Yikes. I'm also going to go into free agency and just sign some of the worst players available because when I trade some of the higher overall players, we're going to need players to take their spot. And why not sign the worst players imaginable that will actually end up playing? Preston Williams, who I don't know what's going on with his background. We're breaking the game. Patrick Laird and Nick Needham headed to the Chargers for a future 1st round pick. And we have so few players left in the 70s. Camu Grugier-Hill is definitely going to go. Clayton Fedulum should have some value. Noah Igbenogany is probably our most valuable player still on the team. So we'll see what we can do there. Chiefs, I mean, I don't want to trade with the Chiefs because they're actually going to win. I'm trying to find the teams that are, like, certainly going to be terrible. Like, do we have the Giants 1st round pick next year? We don't. Can we have it now? No. Camu, Grugier-Hill, and Austin Jackson for a 2022 1st round pick from the Giants. Yeah, I know this is repetitive. You can see we have a few 1st round picks in there. At least a few. That's so funny. Nobody wants Noah Igbenogany. Shock. It really is. Like 1st round pick. Rookie. The Bengals are actually good with Joe Burrow in Madden Sim, so I don't really want to make a trade with them. Colts again. Falcons. Falcons is going to be the one. Andrew Van Ginkel, Noah Igbenogany, and Myles Gaskin to the Falcons for a 1st round pick. Somebody tried to correct my pronunciation of Noah Igbenogany, and I'm just like, you're actually wrong. It's so crazy the amount of people that are like, you're wrong, actually, and they don't even look into it. Like, I remember the one that I always bring up is, like, I'm like, oh, man, did the Falcons go 10-6 or 9-7 last year? I'm like, oh, it was 10-6. And someone's like, actually, it was 9-7. I look it up and, like, no, it was whatever I said. But I'm like, people are just so crazy, dude. Look it up. Google exists. All right, Isaiah Ford and a 3 next year gets us a 1 next year from the Bucs. We should be good. This team is terrible. 60 overall, 60 offense, 62 defense. We've got a kicker playing quarterback, although the CPU probably will sign a quarterback. I don't know that that's the move for our franchise. All right, making sure that Phil roster is off there, so we are stuck with this team. And let's see how much we get rocked in the preseason. We lost by a touchdown, 35-28. It is preseason, I get that, but like, we lost by a touchdown again. These games are way too close. Lost by 2 touchdowns there. We're trending in the right direction. And we lost by 2 touchdowns again. All right. Regular season, though, season goal is win 0 games. Is that an option? So we're almost certainly going to go 0-16 here. And I'm simulating straight through to the playoffs just because we're not going to be re-signing anybody. There's no one on this team that I want to keep for the long term. So we're going to go 0-16, and that's when this really starts. And we have more picks than I really know what to do with. So we can get anybody in the draft that we want. And again, I'm not sure what the strategy is going to be. Is it just trade for the best players in the game? Or is it draft some superstars that could be really, really good? So we went 0-16. Let's see how bad this team was, man. 32nd in offense. The team signed Matt Moore. I didn't want that. And we were the 32nd defense as well. The team actually signed some players to play, which is frustrating. Matt Moore was awful, though. And we also signed Robbie Bortles. Lamar Miller is back in Miami. And the fullback Chandler Cox had a ton of carries. Lamar Miller was awful. Receiving, Matt Collins, so Gary Jennings. The team actually signed a lot of players, and they were all terrible. Gary Jennings led the team with 3 touchdowns. His year was actually not, like, awful. I mean, Matt Collins, I guess, wasn't either. Let's see how many sacks we allowed, because this was, again, a really bad team. Honestly, not even that many. I mean, Julian Davenport with 22. But, I mean, we really didn't allow that many. Interesting. Defensively, Clayton Fedulum. I did trade him. He had 100 tackles. What a year for him. Benito Jones had 15 tackles for loss. 12 for Zach Seiler. 3.5 sacks there for my guy Sam. Interceptions, 2 for Ryan Lewis led the team. Adrian Colbert's on this team even. He's not even bad. He's just, I think he got some weird injury or off the field, like medical concern. Herbert wins MVP with the Chargers. Maybe Chargers offensive playbook is the move. That's interesting. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Bears offensive playbook's always really good. Coach of the year, nice. I mean, we're not going to win anything, but offensive player of the year, Justin Herbert. Defensive player of the year, Von Miller. Offensive rookie of the year, Justin Herbert. Defensive rookie of the year, Patrick Queen. We actually have some Dolphins in there. Brandon Jones, Benito Jones, Jason Strowbridge, and Curtis Weaver, who's actually cut in real life, unfortunately. Another guy with health concerns. So we're not re-signing anybody. It was a murder in the Super Bowl. 28-0. Packers over the Chiefs. Jesus. And again, we're not going to be re-signing anybody. I'm not even going to look at it. We're just going to jump straight to stage 1. Now we can start signing whoever we want. So, well, we actually can't because we're negative 24 mil in cap room. Because, and here's why. Because we have more picks than imaginable. We have a disgusting amount of picks. And that actually contributes to our cap. Because those rookies have to get paid. Now, you could be like, oh man, that was obvious. We knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. I've done enough franchise to know that's how this is allocated. That's how that happens. So I'm going to be trading those picks for players. There's just a little bit of strategy to it, I can assure you. Now, the problem that I actually may have run into is that I maybe got too many first-round picks that I can't actually trade for any players, which would be an issue. And the workaround for that would be by drafting players. We have the first, 5 picks in the draft. The workaround is to take studs and trade them for picks and or players. And players usually have a lot of value. So it's definitely easy to work around. It just might take a minute to figure it out. But we're just going to take, amazing players every time. So don't worry about it. Okay, so we actually have like 50 mil in cap room. I wonder if that's going to be how it actually is or if it's just appearing to be that way. Now, I would like to be able to trade for Patrick Mahomes. This is my offer. The top 3 picks in the draft, and they don't want anything to do with it, which is understandable. But I wonder who we can get, if anybody. Again, like our cap room, even though it shows we're safe by 50 mil, that might not actually be the case. So even though we might be able to get some of these players for less value, the reason that I'm unloading some of these first-round picks, and this, by the way, was the correct value for the trade, is because each pick holds a value. And when I say value, I don't mean value for trading the way I did previously. I mean value in terms of salary cap hit, and it scales down. So 1 is going to be the most, 32 in the first round is going to be the least. So we're trying to get rid of some of this potential cap hit and bringing in good players by doing so. Quentin Nelson upgrades our offensive line. And the strategy here as well is going to be trading for players that we can actually trade for. So some guys are just off limits. And what I mean by that is you just can't trade for them. I think it's pretty clear. And tackles, good tackles are usually that position. So what I like to do is trade for some of the better guards in the NFL, whether it's Zach Martin or David DeCastro or somebody along those lines. Most of them are fairly expensive, but we're going to make it work. So Zach Martin hopefully is going to go for a first-round pick, and it's not. I might do another one next year, and that probably should go through. 2 first-round picks for Zach Martin. So now we have 2 of the best guards in the league. I might see if we can get David DeCastro. It's usually very hard to trade for any tackle, so David Bakhtiari is usually off the table. DeCastro is a little bit too old and too expensive for his overall. So the thing is, in order to trade for some of these studs, we need actually another player as well. So somebody with green value. So I think what we're going to do for this draft, because we have a lot of first-round picks next year as well, is take players, take studs. I actually have the top players in the draft all marked who are early first-round picks. Some of them are mid-first-round picks as well. But I'm going to be taking some of these players and probably starting with Brandon Monroe. I'm not going to worry about it since I have some of the top picks in the entire draft. So it doesn't really matter where we take these guys. Some of them are going to be reaches. I have 3 running backs locked up. We don't really want 3 running backs. But I'm going to be taking some of these guys and using them probably as trade pieces. We'll take a quarterback here, Brandon Monroe. Looks pretty solid, actually. Looks kind of like the all-around type. It says he's a scrambler, but he's 6'5", 230 with a rocket arm. I mean, is this Josh Allen? He is a 74 overall. Only normal development, though. You were hoping for a higher development trait, but, I mean, he's very, very good. For a quarterback to be a 74 overall in the draft, that's one of the better players you're going to see at the quarterback position. It's rare to find guys much higher than that. This is maybe the worst trade I've ever seen go through in Madden. I don't know what's happening with this one. Brandon Jones and Deshaun Hamilton gets me Calvin Ridley. I didn't even have to trade a first-round pick. I have no idea what's going on with that other than that is horrific for Madden. That is the worst trade I've ever seen. Like, actually, I don't think it gets worse than that. Trading Clayton Fedulum, number 2 overall and number 20 overall for Ezekiel Elliott. It's important to have a good running back, you know, for your offense to be effective in Madden. So we're doing exactly that. And you can see we're actually building a really, really good offense right now. I could trade some of those guys, and it probably wouldn't be a terrible move, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Again, you're seeing I'm using a lot of these players, however terrible that they are, to actually like get better players. So, you know, it's a grind. Robert Hunt at number 15 for number 2 overall projected from the Bears next year. The trading for the stars is going to happen mostly next season. This is just laying the groundwork for that. So, again, I can continue to trade for picks next year if I want to do that, and I might just end up doing that. Trading a first, number 14 for number 24 projected next year for the Jets, but they're going to be much worse than that, so pretty good trade for us, actually. Trading number 3 overall for a first and a second next year from the Steelers. Again, the projected pick I don't really care about too much because it's going to change, and I'm trying to unload some of this potential cap hit, so the trade actual value doesn't have to equal out, in my opinion. I know that's going to seem odd, but I feel like we're doing good by doing this, as I'm going to take like a string of running backs here. This one's Jermaine Daniels. He's number 4 in the draft at a 76 overall. Oh, pretty strong class then. Star or better development. You like to see that. So, again, a lot of these guys are just going to be trade pieces for me. You just got to play the game. And when I say play the game, you got to play the game in a cheesy way if you're doing this. And you have to play the system. Take a running back here, Jabari Dunn, 77 overall, number 2 in the class. We took him at whatever, doesn't matter. Only normal development, but again, he'll be fodder for trade more than likely. Take Steve Saxton here. Out of Oregon, speed rusher, looks pretty good. And he is pretty good. Number 3 in the draft, 76 overall. Again, only normal development. Normal development is Madden 21. You're not going to draft a whole lot of star and better players. It just won't happen, as sad as that is. Take a receiver here, Jim Fisher, number 9 in the class. Took him at number 17. 75 overall, only normal development. Brandon Charles here out of Florida. He is the number 1 player in the class, 77 overall. Also, only normal development, as that is the trend. Again, like, how many players do we just take inside the top 10? And how many of them actually have star or better development? 1. Taking a safety here, Nate Rudolph for the out of Oklahoma. He's number 22 in the class. He actually does have star or better development. But again, he probably will be traded. And it's not 0 to 16 or 0 and 16 to you know, 16-0 in one season. It's a little bit of a process, and I think we could probably end up doing it in like 2 or 3. I said we're aiming for season 4, but we might be able to fast track that and get there before. And the way we can do that is by you hitting that subscribe button. Yes, believe it or not, dude, hitting subscribe works. It'll affect the outcome of a pre-recorded video. Crazy, right? It's like when your favorite YouTubers beg their young subscriber base to subscribe and they'll get a cookie. Imagine, an actual cookie for you. Whoa, holy. We could also come out here in free agency. I actually don't have money, never mind. Scratch what I was going to say. Because, again, the same issue that we were having before with the money, which is why I was trying to clear some of that cap, we're experiencing now. So it's going to be tough to unload that. I think the best move is, again, just simulate to the playoffs here and play that by ear. Or we missed the playoffs. We went 1-15. Yeah, that'll do it. Almost back-to-back 0-16 seasons. This one definitely hurt. We didn't have players starting at their even correct positions just because I consider this season to be a wash. But season 3, I think, is when things are really going to start to take off for us. Ooh, Quentin Nelson's a free agent. That sucks. Hopefully Zach Martin isn't also. Oh, no. Multiple players in here. Terrell Basham has star development. That's interesting. I want Calvin Ridley back as well. Oh, we actually can't afford him very easily. He hasn't really accounted for that yet. So we'll extend Quentin Nelson. That's totally fine. He was already getting big money anyway. And then Calvin Ridley. The reason I got him is because he was only 27 years old and at 86 overall. Felt like he would have more value than Julio, and he was also super easy to trade for. However, I'm sitting here now being like, he's 27, he's an 86 overall. They didn't really progress at all because we have no offense. So I don't really want to sign him to a multi-year deal. So what I'm just going to do is franchise tag him. It's super expensive, but also we can afford it, and we'll end up trading him for a really, really good player. So I think that's actually going to work out. All right, so who do I want here? Leighton Vander Esch, I think, is the obvious choice. Justin Reed would be nice as well. We have a lot of money, which means we can sign a lot of players. Leighton Vander Esch has to be one of them. Okay, I went out there and I offered a lot of contracts out, and we didn't get 2 of the players I wanted. Leighton Vander Esch, Rashaan Evans, both said no. However, we brought Preston Williams back. He had the opportunity to grow into an 80 overall. We got, like, what, a first-round pick back for him? So I'll take that. We would have had to extend him at this time anyway. So Preston Williams returns. We also were able to bring in a safety in Justin Reed, which is a very good addition to our defense. And Rudolph actually has a superstar development. A little bit surprising in there. We didn't even look at stats. I didn't really think it mattered too much. Daniels only had star. But now a lot of trades are going to start to happen. And we'll see that happen in the draft. To pick at 1st and 2nd and 6th and 7th. And then other spots probably. Definitely. Jonathan Gray, former Texas running back, great. Could never stay healthy. These 2 quarterbacks are unbelievable, by the way. So our quarterback's out. He's gone. This one even looks good, too. There's an early first-round D tackle in the 6th. That's pretty good value. You know what they say. You cannot miss on a pick if you have multiple of them. So we're going to take both quarterbacks. Taylor Hamill, 74 overall, number 5, which is a big difference between 74 overall and number 16 or whatever it was in the last class. He does have star or better development, though. And we're also going to be taking this next QB. But it also is interesting that the number 5 overall player is only a 74. It means that the rest of this class is not particularly good, as this guy is number 6 in the class, also 74, star or better development. So it seems like we couldn't miss no matter what QB that we took, but we got some good ones. Now, I will tell you, Randall Burst looks very, very good. I am going to be taking him. I think he's going to be much higher than a 74, and he is. He's unbelievable. 79 overall, star or better development. 85 finesse moves to go with 83 speed, 86 acceleration, 83 strength, 80 tackle, 88 agility. 88 agility for a defensive end. Randall, relax. Yeah, he's really, really good. This is one of the best players I've seen so far in Madden 21. So that's a pretty good addition to our squad. We're trading our quarterback Monroe, who's up to a 77 overall, only normal development still. Number 7 overall and a 4th next year for Khalil Mack. The sack attack from the silver and black is, well, he's gone now. He's played for the Bears now for a few years. But he is now on the team, and he is quite good. 31 already at this point, which just seems so crazy. And I guess I am going to trade Calvin Ridley. I said I was going to do that. It's not like he's getting old, but he is 27. He's not ever going to reach a 90 overall, probably. Maybe just barely. But if I can get maybe Odell Beckham Jr. for that, I would rather have him, who is a big overall boost. And yeah, he is older. Might not be able to happen. Maybe DeAndre Hopkins is an option. They don't want him. Okay. Trading Calvin Ridley and 2 first-round picks for Deion Jones. I mean, I feel like Deion Jones is real good. Calvin Ridley's back to the Falcons, and we get a young linebacker, 27 years old, but is a higher overall, 91 overall. We can get other receivers who are older, who I think are going to help out the team a little bit more. We don't necessarily need Calvin Ridley so much. I can trade Jim Fisher. He didn't look that good anyway. And maybe we'll get, I don't know, DeAndre Hopkins or, well, not DeAndre Hopkins, but maybe Michael Thomas. The Saints, you guys looking for a receiver? Not really. Okay. Don't have a quarterback, but we could end up making a trade for Michael Thomas with a QB because we drafted 2 of them. We'll go with a safety here, Quintarius Macklin, who is a 75 overall, ranked number 4 in the class. Also star better development. So now we've seen, 1, 3, 4, and 5 go. So I guess the only other player we could take, the best possible scenario is taking the number 2 player. And then number 7, but I don't know what the likelihood of that is. Now there are some early players still available. Bruce Gray could be one of them. He is early, and I know Hadley's probably going to be at number 9. Maxwell McIntosh is late, so Bruce Gray is probably number 2. Yeah, he's number 2. Only normal development, ranked at number 16, but he is a 78 overall. Trading a first and a third for number 11 projected from the Lions. This is the point where I'm trying to get first-round picks for next year, but I almost waited too long. First and a second for a first next year from the Vikings. Trading Jim Fisher a third and a 7th next year for a first next year from the... If I maybe was going to say another thing, I wasn't. I was going to say football team. Football team merch, link in the description. As maybe I'll take that pick at number 27. We got some first-round picks next year already. I don't know. No, I don't know why I was going to do this. Let me just get a first-round pick next year if I can. From anybody. It's not going to be offered. Not exactly surprising. Trading first and our safety Rudolph, who had superstar development, for projected number 2 from the Jaguars next year. And I think I'll probably end up spending this this second-round pick on the 6th-round projected defensive tackle, who's going to be ranked at probably number 9. So we'll take him. He's going to be like a 72 overall. Maybe a 73. Probably a 73 if I had to guess. Isaiah Hadley, 74. Number 9 in the class. Took him at number 38. Probably will end up trading him as well. Okay, so we're up to an 82 overall. Let's go ahead and see the team and where we actually need improvement. Zach Martin can play left tackle. That's fine. Quentin Nelson's going to play left guard. So I got to change around the positions a little bit. So we're going to try and just power up the offense big time, which means we need wide receivers. A lot of these running backs are going. Quarterbacks are getting traded. We need wide receiver, tight end, and then the offensive line is easy to get, so I'm not really too worried about that. But wide receiver and tight end, if we can trade for somebody like, I don't know, someone like 30-ish, like DeAndre Hopkins. So a quick glance at the team. I'm not going to be making any trades. I'm just going to be simulating to the midseason mark or so. Might make some trades there, see how some of these rookies progress. Again, this is not a team that's ready to go right now, so that's not really where my focus is. I got to use some Coach XP. Let's not be crazy. So no one's a free agent. That's very nice. Looks like it was Gary Jennings. Yeah, Gary Jennings is my top priority free agent. No. So we didn't make the playoffs. We would go 6-10. This is improvement. This is a step in the right direction. So the main strategy for this was not like a gradual climb, but it was set up for a monster performance. So I think we're actually in a really good position to do that. It's just, how do I get a stud quarterback out of nowhere? That's, you know, like kind of the big issue at the moment. Again, I'm not really going to stress too much on the... Colts Bears in the Super Bowl there. Colts offense, or excuse me, Colts defense, Bears offense is actually kind of the move. All right, free agent time. We have 47 mil. Let's check out the team and see where we are and what we need. Oh, okay. We have 2 superstar X Factor quarterbacks. They both had superstar X Factor. I mean, I guess we got the top 2 players in the draft. Defense, star and star. So, didn't get quite so lucky with them, but we have 2 superstar X-Factor quarterbacks. I kind of would, like, prefer one of them to be star and the other one to be, like, X-Factor on defense, like Burst or somebody maybe, but I guess it's not the worst thing. So, I mean, now is the time to strike. Maybe we just rock with that quarterback, man. I didn't really anticipate one being so good in there. Free agency is not exactly loaded. Darius Slayton could be good. I don't care for Devin Singletary. B-Wags is too old. Brian Burns for sure. I mean, we don't really need that many edge rushers. Oh, we can definitely get Michael Thomas here. Just got to trade that backup quarterback. And what's the latest first-round pick that could get it done? Number 30? Oh, it's so close. It's going to be like number 20-something. We don't have one. It's going to be number 18 then, which I'm totally fine with. It's going to be backup QB Gray, rookie DT Hadley from a year ago, and number 18 gets us a 99 overall wide receiver in Michael Thomas. Pretty good addition to the team. Pretty good addition to the receiving core. Got to trade some of these backup running backs that are quite good and also quite expensive. It's going to be backup running back done. Charles at right end, 82 overall, and a first-round pick number 9 overall for Kenny Clark, 96 overall defensive tackle. Probably the best nose tackle in the league as we are just starting to hoard mid to high 90s. Oh, man. Solomon Kindley and with Steve Saxton for Travis Kelce straight up, 97 overall. Yeah, this is when the crazy trades are starting happening. Curtis Weaver straight up for Chris Lindstrom. We get an 80 overall guard to add to our team. Of course, we're playing Martin and Nelson at tackle, left and right respectively. So that is very good for us. To me, Jason Strobridge. Ooh, not straight up. I mean, that usually we go through, but we're going to get another good offensive lineman here. In the versatile Dalton Reisner, and you better be, because, I mean, we're playing him at a weird position probably. Maybe a future 4 and 5 gets it done, along with Jason Strobridge, and that is what does it. Well, we can definitely get Tyrann Mathieu. Okay, so now how about number 30 and a third next year? Chiefs would exceed the league's salary cap. They wouldn't. Okay. Yeah, so we really can't trade for Tyrann Mathieu there. I don't really know what to do. That's just like that classic glitch. There's not really anything that we can do there. So we're going to try and sign some guys in free agency. We need cornerbacks really, really badly. Unfortunately, there really aren't any of a good age and overall. Justin Coleman's going to be the best we can do. And we really can only barely afford him, if that. I mean, we can't even do that. I mean, we brought in a lot of really high overall players. I'm not shocked that we're struggling to afford guys. But what we can do is trade that running back. Now, I tried to trade him to the Chiefs to clear a little bit of cap. But somehow something was going on with the Chiefs salary cap where that trade couldn't happen. But we need to beef up this defense in a big way. So I'm going to have to trade these guys. Have to. All right, we're going to bring in J.J. Watt. That one's kind of an easy decision. Easy player to trade for. So we got to bring him in. Caleb Wilson, do you guys want him? More than you should, honestly, but it's going to have to be picks. Future third, maybe we'll go through. It's going to be close. It's going to be a future 2 and like maybe even a 3. We'll try a 6, but oh, it's going to be like a current 5. We'll get it done. Current 6 probably would have gotten it done too. But J.J. Watt is on the team. As yeah, our team is really, really good now. Our offense especially, but we've got some amazing pass rushers. J.J. Watt will probably end up moving to defensive tackle. We're going to be in a 4-3, I want to say, with Indianapolis Colts playbook, so we do have to change anyway. Yeah, so in a 4-3, things will change a little bit. I feel like J.J. Watt should play defensive tackle for us. Khalil Mack's going to slide down and play defensive end. All right, now the defense is starting to look a lot better as well. We just need linebackers and cornerbacks. Our cornerbacks are so bad. They're terrible. We don't have linebackers either. We have one, Deion Jones. How much money do we have? Negative a lot million. Okay. So we can't do anything. We're just going to have to simulate to the draft, and making some decisions there is going to be our best bet. NFL draft time. I did my very best to hold on to our picks because I really felt like we could have moved these picks for value, or we could, and we still might end up doing that. Not going to trade or draft a quarterback at this point. even though there appear to be pretty good ones here. Like, I like the look of these guys just from a quick glance. Early first round center, the exact position we need there. We do that in the second round easily. So that's our second round pick. Don't really need any other offensive linemen other than that. We're set. So the cornerbacks in this class appear to be like good, but not good enough. So we're still going to need to go out and trade for one. It's just, I think it's going to prove to be pretty difficult. It's just not really a great class for our team needs. So the second overall pick is going to be moved. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do in terms of adding a big name, not even necessarily a big name, but a big cornerback to our team. I'm just not sure we're going to have the money to do it. I actually looked around the league, and to my surprise, there aren't actually that many good defensive backs in the NFL at this point, especially that are older, that are easy to trade for. So we're in a bit of a pickle. So I've actually made a move, and this is going to be controversial, but I've turned off salary cap in order to facilitate this trade because we can afford it and they can afford it, but there's certain like things in the game accounting for picks that we're not going to have. So just to avoid the glitchiness, that happened, but it's going to be Gray, a first and a third for Tyrann Mathieu. So he's going to end up playing cornerback for me. I just think that's the best move there. And I also had a trade set up for, I believe it was Keenan Allen. And it's going to involve Preston Williams, but it's a swap for a better player. So we're going to work something out here as well. It's going to involve a first-round pick. I'm going to hold on to that second, but number 7 overall. And Preston Williams straight up for Keenan Allen. So that is happening. Thankfully, Tyrann Mathieu does have a history of playing cornerback. Did that in Arizona for a while in kind of a slot and then hybrid boundary role, and did that at LSU. He's been a versatile player his entire career, kind of just doing whatever they need him to do. He's the honey badger, and now he's going to be playing corner for us. And now our man coverage specialist, Tyrann Mathieu, actually goes up to a 95 overall. Does have 93 man, higher man than zone. So makes more sense on our team as a cornerback. And our team's actually looking really good. We still need linebackers really badly. We're in a really rough spot for money. We do have Keenan Allen now. And we do have this number 2 overall pick. I should be able to trade this for some value. There's just not really anyone I want at this spot. The biggest issue becomes that I don't really have anyone I can trade. And now, even though there's no cap room, we're not treating it as if there's no cap room. I'm just going to sign everybody from free agency and trade them. It was only to facilitate those 2 trades when we could afford it anyway. It's just going to be too impossible to actually trade for anybody else with no players. So we are just going to take this pick. It's going to be a cornerback. I think there's one who is projected to be an early first rounder. So I guess he will be added to the team. Don't need a defensive tackle. Don't need really wide receiver at this point. It's going to be Travis Whitlock out of Alabama. Early first round guy. He is a 75 overall with star or better development, actually. He is number 9 in the class. We took my number 2, but with that development trait, I'm actually quite happy with that pick. Immediate starting cornerback, probably will get into the 80s this year. Maybe not probably, but there's a chance. And now we're going to take a center with our pick in the second round. And then we should be good to go, man. It's time for this team to ball. Center is still available. Welcome to the team. 76 overall, number 6 in the draft. We took him at 39. Starting center. Couldn't ask for much more than that. So I actually do want Jose Barton if I can get him. He is a speed rusher type, so not exactly a great scheme fit. But I should be able to get a second round pick. I'll do it with maybe the Chargers. All right, so thankfully our first round pick next year is projected number 1 overall. So we can still get a first round pick by acquiring this second. So it's number 45, a 1 and a 3 next year from the Chargers. I probably could have even gotten a 2 there. But I will simulate to our pick here. And I am going to take that outside linebacker. He's probably only going to be like, I don't know, a 72, 73. But that's good enough to start on our team. Jose Boston. Did I say Barton? Jose Boston, welcome to the team. 73 overall, ranked number 17. Took him at 45. And he definitely cannot play off the ball with his coverage, but is a decent enough tackler, and he will be forced to play that role. They gave him Cameron Wake's 91, and that is the draft. Okay, so we're 91 overall, 93 offense, 89 defense. We'll check out free agency, see if there's anyone that can fill a spot for us. Richard Sherman, maybe Patrick Peterson. I need a linebacker more than anything. It's going to end up being Voshan Joseph. He's only 25. This was a guy who was actually super good at Florida, but also super bad. He was like either amazing or terrible, but he will be starting for us. I think the overall of O'Shawn Joseph also will go up at left outside linebacker where we're going to play him. Middle linebacker is scaled differently so that pretty much everyone's a higher overall at outside linebacker than inside, just because middle linebacker, the overall stretched to make larger disparity. He's a 74 overall outside linebacker. So our team is actually looking really solid. We're a little bit weak at linebacker, but our defensive line is really, really good. And maybe it would be better to play Burst on the inside than J.J. Watt just to maximize his full potential. But now I will just keep J.J. Watt where he is. All those guys are going to be on the defensive line anyway. So it's going to be a really, really good defense. We could use another receiver. If I could trade maybe like a first-round pick for a receiver. We're going to sign Andy Isabella in the slot just in case. But I also might go after an offensive lineman to trade. But I don't think any are going to have any value. Michael Dieter maybe could. So Michael Dieter actually does have yellow value from the Texans. So if I could trade him a first-round pick and a third-round pick, we have our slot receiver. And that's exactly what happens. Brandon Cooks, welcome to this weird Dolphins team. All right, so linebacker's super weak, but cornerback isn't terrible. Safety's pretty good. When you look at specialists here, I mean, it's looking really, really good. We've got so many talented players. Brandon Cooks is going to be in the slot. Zeke is our every down running back. I do need a kicker and a punter, and then we're good to go. So we brought in Fat Randy and a randomly generated punter, Daniel Barron, who has the face of Dwayne Haskins. I talked about this in the Giants rebuild. That's who the face is. It's Dwayne Haskins. So I feel like we pretty much only have one shot at this. I think it's going to be unlikely that we're able to do it, just because 16-0 is like almost so impossible. Brandon Cooks is going to be a free agent, as is Kenny Clark, J.J. Watt. It's actually not as many as I thought. No, Deion Jones. Okay. So a few more. So, I mean, it's either we'll do one more year after this if we can't get 16-0, but I think this is probably our best shot, even with a 78 overall quarterback. We have the schemes that should be super effective to win. Colts defense is a really good defense, and Chicago offense is a really good offense in this. So this is the best shot we're going to have. This is the best chance at going 16-0. We will see how things are at the midseason mark. Midseason mark, we're 5-2. Frustrating. So we have the best defense, but the 8th offense. I think Seattle offense is, or no, KC offense is kind of the best. We'll do one more year after this. So after re-signing J.J. Watt, we're going to be running out of our little imaginary cap room down to 20 mil. But I don't really think we need anybody else. Deion Jones, actually, we definitely need. But that's kind of it on the important players. So we ended up going 11-5 with our 94 overall team. Not actually quite as good as I would have wanted. Third best offense overall. I mean, our quarterback was elite. 40 touchdowns, 4,300 yards. Third best offense, and what is our defense? 4th. I mean, we should be in a position next year as Joe Burrow wins MVP. Where's our quarterback? Dude, Bears offense only works for the Bears, and that's it. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Joey B. Hamill's at 5 somehow. Defense Player of the Year, Garrett. J.J. Watt at 4. And then rookie really doesn't matter. I guess I'll see if we can still win the Super Bowl this year. We beat the Jets 45-29. The Texans we beat 17-10. Joey B and the Bengals would like to be able to beat them. And we do not. It's going to be Bengals-Packers in the Super Bowl. One more offseason, one more try at going 16-0. So we're not going to re-sign anybody, or not going to go out and sign anybody. And we don't have draft picks either. So this is the team. If we go 16-0, great. If we don't, it was a fun time trying to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and recommend some challenges for me to maybe do in the comment section down below. This is our last shot. 92 overall, 97 offense, 88 defense. So some guys have regressed. It's going to be Khalil Mack. J.J. Watt's going to be probably the most noticeable. Anyone else? They're not down that much. Tyrann Mathieu's not down that much. We need an outside linebacker. What happened to O'Shawn Joseph? We only signed him for 1 year. Okay. That's right. Damn, Patrick Queen's up to a 95. There's no chance we can get him. And O'Shawn Joseph, of course, is on the Ravens now. Can we trade Hutchins for Schaub anyway? Probably should be able to get O'Shawn Joseph back, so we'll do that. Not even at all. I'm confused. I swear, it'd almost be easier to get Patrick Queen than Voshon Joseph. How is that possible? Trading a future first to the Ravens for Malik Harrison, who would actually, I'd rather have him than Voshon Joseph anyway, because his overall is going to jump up when he moves to outside linebacker, which is where he's going to be playing. So Malik Harrison, shift over to left outside linebacker. Maybe even a 78. 78, 79 would be very, very nice. Jumps up to a 78. So again, this is the last shot we have here. It's either, you know, it's go big or go home. Is Keenan Allen still on the team? He is. All right. This is it, boys. The quest for 16-0. All right, we're starting out 1-0. I'm going to go week by week, and I'm going to upgrade as we go just to make sure that it gets done. I'm going to spend the last of my Coach XP. We only won against the Patriots by 10. We only beat them by 10. We need to do better than that. O-line training boost probably won't even matter too much at this point. We'll do wide receiver as well. Travis Kelce's already a beast. Ezekiel Elliott is already a beast. We need that quarterback to come along, and then we'll be set. 2-0. Beat the Cardinals by 1. Against the Colts now. 3-0. Crush them. Weekly award is not what I want. I was looking for upgrades. But Hamels won it. Player of the week. Love that. Quest for 4-0. We have to beat the 2-1 Texans. 4-0. We beat them by 6. Frustrated receiver for Michael Thomas. Why is that? Are you not getting the ball? We have the second best offense. Our defense, 21st. Why are we allowing so many points? Receiving, what's going on? Kelsey's leading the way. Interesting. He's like by a lot. I mean, Michael Thomas is like, you have 17 catches in 4 games. Like, yeah, it's not you getting force-fed the ball 30 times a game like usual. But, like, it's not too bad. Quest for 5-0. Please beat the Titans. We beat them 35-21. 5-0. This could be real. Now we got to beat the 3-1 Rams before our bye week. We beat them 38-24. Oh, things are looking good, boys. We're halfway there. Shout out Bon Jovi. Are we living on a prayer, though? That's the question. I think yes. It's going to be super tough to go 16-0 as we simulate to week 8. This is going to be a tough stretch, but we are 6-0. I mean, this is as close as we're going to get right now. I mean, that's obvious. Of course, every single time I simulate is going to be the closest we're going to get. Can we beat the 49ers? They're not that great in sim usually. We beat them 42-24. The Bills, on the other hand, are another whole entire separate issue. The Bills are actually pretty good in simulation. I know they're only 4-3, but I'm a little bit worried about this game. I'm not going to lie. Quest for 8-0. Can we beat the Bills? Yes, 38-35. We barely beat them to go 8-0. And the Jets are actually 5-3. I'm getting worried about these divisional matchups, man. Can we beat the Jets? 35-10, we crushed them. Oh, no. We have the Chiefs on our schedule. Are you kidding me? Why do we have to have the Chiefs, man? This is going to be actually the toughest game. What are our stats now? Is the defense coming up? First offense. Taylor Hamels has 30 passing touchdowns already. 19th defense. Why is the defense not playing well? All right, can we beat the Chiefs? 34-28. It all comes to a screeching halt. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. We lose by less than a touchdown. 6 points. We beat the Jets. The Seahawks are 4-6-1. We lost to them. We're 10-2. 11-2. We beat the Browns, and then Week 16 against the 4-9-1 Patriots. I'm sure they're going to beat us. We tie. 17 all. We lose to the Jags in Week 17. So we finished 12-3-1. That seems to be the best we can do, man. 95 overall team. 99 offense. 92 defense. We built a monster, but going 16-0 is not easy. It's been done, what, one time in NFL history in a full season? I know the Dolphins did that, but that was a 14-game season in 1972. Times have changed a little bit. Still counts, obviously. It's the only complete flawless season ever, regular season and playoffs. But I think you could argue the Patriots are a better team in 2007 when they actually lose to my favorite team, the Giants, in the Super Bowl. One giant loss on their 18-1. But that is going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, regardless of not being able to finish the perfect season and going 16-0. We got off to a really good start. We crushed the Bengals in the playoffs who beat us last time. Ravens, we lose to them. So, we're not even going to win the Super Bowl. Never even made it with our 95 overall team. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll fake it.